How's it going, everyone? We are going to do some hip mobility for Kinstretch today, and more specifically, we're going to work through the adductor. So we're going to get started with our cars routine. We're going to stay in a seated position. From there, we're going to do some neck cars because our necks need a little love too. So here we go, nice and slow, looking down, scraping the chin to the left, driving the chin up towards the ceiling, over to the other side, down and back the same way, nice and slow, breathing. Aim for one more, all the way around. And good. Perfect. So we're gonna now move on to some hip specific things. So we're gonna start with ankles and knees and then our hip cars. So right hand's gonna go through, left hand onto the shin, right hand holds the left forearm, and you're gonna pull that hip and knee nice and close towards you. And we're gonna start with our ankle cars. Big circles. And really focusing on going slow anytime you find that kind of shaky part. And switch directions. And good. So now we're going to do our knee cars. So same position, but now my left hand holds my right hand. I'm still pulling that hip to make sure I don't cheat. Toes towards the face, and remember, I'm blocking out this ankle. I'm not letting my foot go straight. I'm trying to do this as much as possible the whole time. So now I'm going to rotate to the right, extend, rotate in, down, rotate right, extend, rotate in, down, rotate right, extend, rotate in, down. Now we're reversing it. Extending up, rotate right, down, rotate left, extend, rotate right, down, left, extend, right, and back down. Perfect. Now we're going to go over to the other side. Same thing. Left arm through, right hold. Actually, that's the knee. We're going to do ankles first. So hand on the shin, hand on the forearm, and big circles. Nice and slow. Really focus on finding those shaky parts and going slower through them. And switch directions. And good. Perfect. Hands together. One thing I want to talk about with the knee cars, I've seen a lot of people lately in person that I've been training that every time they go into internal rotation with their tibia, because they're limited, they get to a certain point and the whole hip is trying to go with them. So really pull that hip in. So we're gonna go left, extend, right, down, extend, left, down, up, in, down. Now we're going to reverse it after this one. And good. So now we're going to go right, extend, left, down, right, extend, left, down, right, extend, left, and down. Perfect. So from there, we're going to go into our hip cars. So we're going to go onto our hands and knees and making sure both elbows stay locked out and not bent as we go through. You're going to take your right knee, drive it forward, out to the side, start kicking that heel up, and make sure that knee comes nice and high. Knee comes down, back up, out to the side, back in, and again, knee forward, out to the side, up towards ceiling, down, back up, out to the side, down, one more time, forward, out to the side, kick, down, and back up. Perfect. We're going to switch over to the other side, doing the same thing. Driving forward, out to the side, up towards the ceiling, down, back up, out to the side, and we're going to keep those elbows locked out the whole time. We're breathing. One more. And good. Perfect. We're going to go into the frog stretch. When we're in the frog stretch, this knee is aligned with this hip, and this knee is in line with the ankle. You're going to go onto the forearms just like this, and I want you to feel a stretch on the inside of the groin. When we're holding this for our 2 minutes, I want you to breathe as deeply as possible. When I tell you to go, you're going to drive both knees down into the ground along with the ankles. So you almost want to think of closing the gap between the legs. And then when I tell you to go again, you're going to think of driving the knees off the ground at the same time, along with the ankles. Physically impossible unless you can fly. So really think of engaging the stuff on the outside of the hip to lift up, all right? So we're holding for another 90 seconds, deep breath. And I find that for some people, holding this position can be a bit on their neck. So if you want, you can use your block and actually just put your forehead on the block to rest down. If not, you can just hang out here and breathe. Deep breaths. All right, so in about 30 seconds, when I tell you to go, we're driving our knees down into the ground and trying to bridge them together. And we're going to start at 10% effort. So we're going to start that in 3, 2, 1, and start pushing down at 10%. And now let's go to 30%, 50, and now max effort. Drive, drive, drive in 3, 2, 1. And ease off. And then when I tell you to go, we're going to try to lift those knees and ankles at the same time up towards the ceiling. In 3, 2, 1, lift. 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 In 3, 2, 1, and relax. Slowly come out of that. All right, that was a lot on the hips. So the next thing, we're gonna first work on hip abduction, because when we have our legs out and we're doing our rails contraction, we were working on the outside of the hip to lift it up. So we're gonna go back onto our hands and knees, just like how we did our hip cars. You're gonna take one block, place it on the side of your elbow and wrist, and I want you to have contact with that on your left side because we're going to work our right leg. When I tell you to lift, you're going to lift your knee and ankle as high as possible, and then I'll tell you when to come back down. The block is there for feedback, that if I start lifting and I start getting tired and start bending the elbow to help me, then the block's gonna fall over. So it's gonna give you some feedback not to cheat. So we're gonna start that in 3, 2, 1, lift up as high as possible and hold it there. Breathe. Breathe. And back down. And up again. Breathe. And back down. And lift. Should start feeling pretty good here. Lift. Back down one more time. Lift. And back down. All right, we're gonna make this a little bit harder. Now we're gonna go on to our elbows. We're gonna do the same thing, but now because we're on our elbows, it's gonna be nearly impossible to cheat. And then we're gonna do 1 rep where you kind of look at how high your hip is going, because you're gonna take that block and place it at a height where your knee kind of finished off. So we're gonna end up doing kind of like a passive range of lift off in this position. So if I do 1 and I'm coming off that high, I'm gonna need another block to build it up a little bit higher. So then now I'm really gonna be working. So again, with blocks, you can build them any way you like, depending on what your range is for this hip. So follow along, 3, 2, 1, try to lift. And back down, and lift. Back down, and lift. Back down one more time, lift. And good. Ooh yeah. All right. And we have block now on our right elbow and wrist, and we're gonna try to lift that left side up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1, lift. And back down. And lift. Back down. And lift. Back down. And lift. Back down one more time and lift. And back down. All right, now we are placing the blocks off to the side at a height where our hip is going to be very much challenged to try to lift from. And then we're also on our elbows. So 3, 2, 1. Try to lift. Should be very hard. And back down. And lift. Back down. And lift. And back down one more time. And lift. And good. All right. What's going on, everybody? You might be asking yourself why this video cut out, and it's because it's just a little teaser towards my online Kinstretch platform that's going to be releasing in April. So if you've been enjoying my free Kinstretches in the very beginning and now all these little teasers, be sure to leave a comment in this video or reach out to me if you want to get onto that pre-sale list, because I'm going to be having a lot of different lengths of Kinstretch workouts ranging from 15, 20, 30, 45 and a full hour. And I was also going to focus on full body or just small little joints like the elbow, the ankles like in this one, or even toes. So if you are interested, feel free to reach out and be sure not to miss this exclusive online Kinstretch with yours truly. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my YouTube channel.